Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Excited to be back. I feel like it's been a month. But obviously changes. Your boy got that thing on. So
Congrats.
Shout out to Gina for saying yes. I appreciate that from her. Thank you for being there, bro, and standing up there with me and giving a great speech at the rehearsal. So it's been nice getting people's feedback. So how did you enjoy that weekend?
The weekend was phenomenal. I mean, already going into it, I knew it was gonna be a good time. Especially because I had met like many of your friends before, but I hadn't had a chance to meet your family really. So I think that was an awesome move to get. I know that was your intention, obviously, but it was nice to get to know them beforehand, because I think there's on any wedding day, there's just so much going on and you don't have an opportunity to like build rapport with people and everything. And then you're obviously drinking and shit. So that was a very nice touch.
Nice, bro. I appreciate it. I think we spoke about it offline a little bit, but I think like the post-wedding like lull is like a real thing. Cause like I enjoyed the 2 days after where Gina and I like went away and just relaxed, but like getting back to like a work week and I'm like, oh wait, so we're not like having a party about me today?
Right. Yeah. No, that I mean, I even had some of that feeling after leaving the wedding, because it's like 3 days of just raging with really cool people, and then it just comes to an end, and you know, you show up to work, they say congrats, and they're like, all right, motherfucker, now let's move on.
Here's this file.
Here's our report. Yeah.
I will say, bro, I think some of the best videos have been on the dance floor, which is exciting because, again, bro, I think the DJ killed it, as well as our boy Anand. Shout out to Ace for putting on a small set as well. But, bro, I was so nervous about the DJ, even though, like, in conversations, like, I felt confident. But, bro, this nigga had no social media presence, bro. So, like, I'm just going off what I hope are real comments on, like, his wedding page.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, bro, this could be anything, you know? Right. So it was cool that like he was like a proper DJ, not just, all right, I'll play this one song and then I'll play this next song. Like it felt very much like transition and like, let me take you on a journey with me. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was super dope, especially because I don't know, at a lot of weddings, and it's usually people who don't really care about music all that much. Like a lot of the songs are super predictable. And even with this, he did a good job of playing like hits from like 2014 all the way through to like recent ones. So you just kind of didn't know what to expect, which is like the fun of it.
Yeah, and which is why I'm grateful he told me like, bro, you gave me too many like must-have songs, because like then he doesn't have like the opportunity to do what he wants to do. So it was nice. But yeah, dude, it worked out. Shout out to DJ Sam Turner. If you need a wedding in the New York tri-state area, hit him up. But I also want to give my boy a shout out. He completed his first half marathon in sub 2 hours, right? Or
no, just over 2 hours.
Just over 2 hours. Still exceptional time. How did you feel out? Was there a moment you hit a wall? Like, how did you feel going through the race?
Honestly, I think I felt the best during this race. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with just like the adrenaline of it being a social experience where you're around other runners. And I would have like unofficial people that I was pacing with. Like I would see the person. Yeah. And I would like go ahead of them and then like slow down to walk and see him pass me. I'm like, fuck that. And then I just start running again to catch up. And I was worried I wouldn't have enough like water and snacks and everything, but I didn't really get hungry. I had a nice breakfast in advance. I also wasn't super thirsty, so I was, just take, sips every now and then. And I think I hit a wall on the way back. So we crossed the bridge and then you basically do a loop around. I think like 10.5 miles was when I was like, oh shit, like my legs are sore and I just needed to walk for a bit. But it wasn't even that intense of a wall. I just powered through like the last mile and then got the medal, of course, and there's beer and everything. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I think the pacing with people who you don't even know is very helpful because you inevitably encourage each other, which is great. But it's also like, I can't let this motherfucker beat me, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she did. by like, I don't know, maybe a minute or two,
Yeah, but the thing is,
which
like,
is
it's
annoying,
also
but
like you have to remind yourself with those is that like it's also not a race, right? Because I think
right.
there was a couple moments where like people flew by me, bro, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, but it's like, bro, like, dude, who cares what their time is as long as I
Yeah.
finish, kind of a thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say I also hit the wall like around the 10, 11 mile mark because that's where like I started really thinking about my pace, and I was
Mhm.
like, bro, like if you don't speed up, you're gonna
Yeah.
finish at a time you don't want to finish at. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, bro, like, and I'm sure for yours, like, there's so much water along the way. Like, you don't even need to
Mhm.
really bring anything because you're gonna keep getting fed like Gatorade, electrolytes, here, that. So,
Yeah. Yep. No, it was dope. I definitely want to do another one, ideally in a different city, but I definitely get the hype around running now, and the community seems very uplifting and
yeah,
welcoming.
yeah, for sure, dude. Let me know if you guys ever do one on the East Coast, bro. I've always wanted to do one in different cities. I feel like I would have to do a full. So let me know if you ever feel like you want to do that. But no, man, I'm happy for you guys. How did Sarah do?
She finished in time, which was encouraging. So super proud of her. She got a medal,
She got the
obviously.
medal. Nice.
Yeah, and she was fighting through a period the entire
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
I've obviously have no idea what that's like, but I know she was
Gina said that's
bothered by it.
terrible. Like
Yeah,
Gina said, yeah, that's terrible.
but yeah, she finished in time, and I think that was her goal. She like thought she wasn't going to get a medal, and she did. So, but
How
she's
are the?
dying today.
Yeah, how are
I'm
your
some
legs
reason
today?
I'm not sore at all. I don't know if like this is a gift from God or a sign from God that I should run today, but I'm not sore at all.
Dude,
I'm
I
taking a
think
break
you
though.
pacing yourself with other longer runs leading up helped, bro. Because again, I
Yeah.
think your body's kind of used to anything like 8 to 14 miles already.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I'm thankful for that. Still gonna take a break for a few days, but
Oh,
yeah,
I
it
think you
was
have to, bro. Yeah, you
yeah.
have to. You have to. But
I don't want to
congrats,
injure
bro. It's
myself.
awesome. How was the weather? Was it hotter than normal?
Oh, it
Colder
was
than normal?
literally damn the perfect day. Colder than normal.
Nice.
I think it was like 55, 60 degrees, but the sun was out. So I was never hot. It was chilly at first, but 2 minutes in, you're already like heating
Sweating a
up.
little bit.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice,
it
bro.
was
Good
good.
for you, man. It looked awesome, and congrats, bro. Glad you hit the goal you wanted to hit. But let's get to it, bro. I feel like these last 3.5 weeks we've been away, it's been chaos in the music industry. So I'll leave it up to you, bro. Where do you want to start?
Um, let's just start off with I mean, last time we already talked about push-ups. Um, I guess like our sentiment of this whole beef ever since like Euphoria drop and Kendrick responded, like where your head was at with that. Maybe we'll start there.
Yeah, so Euphoria, Kendrick's initial response, right? That was his first actual clapback at Drake.
Hmm.
The beat took a while to grow on me. So I would say after like second or third listen, I actually truly enjoyed that beat. Initially, I was like, bro, here we go again, bro. Some like super lyrical shit that's just like boring, but I'm meant to love it because it's him, right? But I would say that song over time definitely grew on me, and I thought it was a very good response. Like a very good response. Like there's no hate on that song whatsoever. I mean, again, I guess the only thing I was confused by that it felt like his responses were things that we already heard, right? So I was surprised that there was no nuance in that aspect. Again, maybe he took it a step further, or there's more weight coming from Kendrick than it
Hmm.
is Pusha T saying stuff about a kid, or Rick Ross calling him white, or not wanting him to use the N word. So maybe that was his angle. He's like, yo, if I'm saying this, I'm giving more weight, so it must be true, kind of a thing.
Hmm.
But that part was maybe a little confusing to me because I was like, I thought you were gonna at least not repeat things we already heard. But as far as a response, was Euphoria like 6 minutes long?
Yeah, it was
Or,
like 6 minutes,
okay,
three
yeah.
different beats.
Yeah. So Euphoria, I thought it was a very good response. How about you?
I would say so as well. When you sent me the track, I was on the train on the way to work. I'll admit I was nervous at first because the first beat was just so laid back. Um, and like you said, I think the angle was something I kind of expected, so I wasn't sure where it was gonna go. And then for some reason, the production didn't really uh fit or work for me upon first listen. Maybe it was just, I mean, this was the first response, so like I was
You
just
know what to
expecting
expect.
everything.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I was actually expecting like just maybe more big reveals, like more T, because Pusha T kind of set that expectation for like every diss from every rapper now. Like it has to be like, oh, I revealed that, you know, you're transgender or some shit. Like it just has to be
yeah.
some wild, unexpected claim. And I think that dampened my reception of the song at first, but I listened to it more and more. And I was like, oh wow, this is like very well crafted, and the progression of each beat kind of makes sense. Like it's almost like he's narrating
And then it gets like
Drake's
more
life.
sinister as it
Hmm.
goes on, where his voice even starts sounding more like aggressive, like a
Yeah.
horror story almost, bro, to be fucking
Hmm.
honest. Like,
Yeah. And that just allowed me to really appreciate the artistry of it, even if the angle wasn't entirely brand new. Um, there were definitely a lot of moments in there where I thought it was just executed very well. Like to this day, the sexy red bar is still pretty hilarious.
yeah.
And something I think everyone was aware of, but maybe didn't know how they would articulate it. They're just like, why is he around this girl all the time? But Kendrick did a very good job of being like, oh, like you're basically
A
a
bad
bad
bitch.
bitch. Like you're competing with the wrong person. You're competing with, you know, female rappers basically by trying to align yourself. And that's personally been one of my gripes with Drake is it seems like as soon as you're on the come up and a hot commodity, like, oh, I have to like steal and absorb your clout for my relevance. Even if he's genuinely fucking with these artists and wants to see them grow, like it just I think is overwhelmingly uh just happens so often that people are like kind of sick of it.
Interesting. Okay, so Euphoria dropped. Great response to push-ups, right? So push-ups is still at this point in time. I think what was it, dude? Euphoria only dropped like what, like fucking.
Actually, after Taylor Made, I mean, do you want to go to Taylor Made?
I mean,
Um,
can we count TaylorMade though? Because like, I
yeah,
mean,
it got
I count
removed.
TaylorMade. I count TaylorMade. I enjoy
Mhm.
TaylorMade. So
I
yeah,
think it
so
counts.
yeah, I enjoy TaylorMade. So again, I think everyone watching and listening to this is already fully caught up on what the diss tracks are. But
Mhm.
for those who didn't, and you've been under a rock the last 3 weeks, so TaylorMade is a AI generated two verses from Tupac and Snoop Dogg that Drake is rapping as those artists, kind of calling out Kendrick for not responding and not holding up his end of the bargain. And then Drake has a couple bars at the end, kind of taking more shots, saying, "Yo, where you at? Where you at?" And then Kendrick responds with push-ups, right? Well, sorry,
Mhm.
with Euphoria. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed Taylor Made. So like you being a West Coast dude and kind of growing up on that music itself, how did you like now being 2 weeks removed from Taylor Made? How did you take that song?
I mean, when I listened to it, I admired the creativity of it. I did think it was a clever way to go about the beef or the diss tracks, but I don't think it was very effective, nor have I revisited the song. I mean, I love the production, and it was nice to see the West Coast kind of get some it was like a nostalgic moment in a way, even though it wasn't championing the West Coast and shedding light on it in the most positive way. I did like the fact that production wise it was something new. I just didn't think it was very effective for Drake, in my opinion, because one, AI doesn't have a very good reputation within the music industry, first of all.
Yeah,
Um,
because almost like the initial backlash for that song was like no one was mad at the bars. It's like that's like cheating in a way.
yeah. And especially for Drake, like of all the artists, he gets the most flack for not being authentic and having ghostwriters and shit. So the AI thing, I just don't think helped him as much as he may have expected.
Damn, I fucked with it though, bro. I thought it was clever, bro. I thought it was just like again, I
Yeah.
feel like it's embracing a new approach. But I get what you're saying. I think everyone is so the connotation around it's so negative, right? Because I think
Hmm.
people are terrified, fans included, that this is gonna ruin the industry. So I
Hmm.
think the idea of like the current top three or whatever,
Yeah.
saying champion it in that way, it's like what the fuck. But whatever, man. Agree to disagree on that one. But so again, so that one drops. I think we get weird response to that one. Some people love it, some people hate it. We got the Tupac estate essentially threatening to sue Drake, so Drake takes it down off his platform, but it's still up on YouTube. So whatever, maybe a dud with that one. So Euphoria drops, and then he drops 616. What? 24
In
hours
LA.
later?
It was on
Or
Friday.
like 2 days later?
I think it was 2 days later.
2 days later. Okay.
Pretty sure it was 2 days later.
Okay. So 616.
Sorry, 3 days later, because he dropped Euphoria on a Tuesday. Now I remember that. Yeah, Euphoria was on a Tuesday, and then 616 in LA was on a Friday morning.
Are you sure it was Friday morning though? Because I remember that when
because I went
dropped,
to the movies, and then he dropped, and then Kendrick dropped that same night.
That's what you really, bro? Because I feel like we were like dealing with the whole 616 meaning like a million things. I feel like 616 may have dropped earlier, bro.
LA Kendrick. So it dropped.
I think we were both. Everyone was losing their mind because he dropped 2 songs.
616 Kendrick. He dropped it on. Oh my god! Every page is just flooding, just reposting these songs so they can get views.
Really?
I can't even find the original fucking Kendrick page right now. Hold on.
I feel like it was on like Complex may have posted it.
Oh, this is insane. How is the official Kendrick page not in the top results?
I got it. 616 drop. You're right. So we got 3 Kendrick songs on 5-3.
2 Kendrick songs, and then we got Not Like Us on 5-4.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Correct. We got 2 Kendrick songs on 5-3. So 616 was like in the morning. I think it was like Thursday night he dropped it, like midnight or something, or like whatever. We woke up to 616.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was it, right? So so 616 drops on 5-3, which is this past Friday. So your thoughts on that song?
I enjoyed it. I didn't think anything in there was super scathing or brand new. I think to me it was just kind of like an extra rapidy rap jab, similar to like Drake's approach with tailor-made freestyle. I think he was just double downing on it and being like, yo, if you're ready to play, like, let's go to war, trying to bait Drake into like actually responding, basically.
And I think he alluded on Euphoria, and I could be wrong because there's been so many songs, but now, bro, I think he said, like, I think he gave Drake his prop for going back to back against Meek. And I think he alluded that he was about to do that to Drake, but no one really knew when or how or whatever. So this was kind of like his version of that moment that Drake had. So yeah, dude, same. 616, I feel like it became more of like, the song became more about like what the fuck 616 means, bro. Like, I think that was the most annoying part for me, not as a Drake, and we'll get into how much of a Drake stan I am later on, but like, as just an observer of this, I was like, bro, there's no way this guy actually sat down and tried to figure out 100 different things that 616 meant, bro. I think it maybe meant 1 or 2 things, and then it was just a jab at Drake, the way that Drake does 5 a.m. in Charlotte, 3 p.m. Like, dude, I'm like, bro, that's it, dude. Like, but like, again, it's my irk with like, I feel like what social media is and like this rallying cry behind Kendrick, that anything he says must have 1,000 meanings to ensure that he is that genius. And like, I refuse to believe 616 has 100 things that he purposely did to keep us talking. Like, that's just, I think it was just a fucking fun coincidence and conspiracy theories. I get, honestly, or just like how we've been, like, I think everyone in hip hop is so energized by this that they want certain things to mean more than they actually are.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think there's probably only 1 or 2 things that is significant to the timestamp that he chose. Personally, I didn't really care about any of the theories. I cared more about the lyrics and what he was saying. And I think for me, I just wanted this to be the feel that forces Drake to respond, which of course happened later that night. But that's basically all I wanted out of this. I was like, okay, Kendrick's not a one and done. Like he wants this to continue.
He wants this to be like a proper like back and forth, right? Like that, I think that was what 616 saying. Because I don't really think, I can't remember any real bars from that song that made me go, oh my God, like this is a death blow, right? It was just, wow, this guy really wants to fight. So at fucking, you were at the movies, so what was it, like maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on, no, maybe like 10 o'clock on the East Coast, Drake drops Family Matters, a video, 7-minute song, essentially 3 songs in one, talking about Kendrick's wife being beaten on. He has the van from Good Kid, Mad City getting destroyed. What else is talking about that song? He also takes shots again at The Weeknd, kills A$AP Rocky, goes at Rick Ross, and then he alludes, he throws another shot at Metro, and he also alludes that he hates that him and Future have to beef. I think that one honestly probably hurts him the most out of all this shit. Dude, I honestly think that was my favorite song out of all the songs that have come out. I truly enjoyed Family Matters. I thought the visuals were fucking epic. And I really love that the first beat, because I like the way it continues from push-ups. Like I truly like the way he gave it a hook. You hear the hook twice. Like it's just a fun song to everything, right? So at this point, I think I'm charged up the most. So what were your thoughts on Family Matter itself before we get into the immediate response?
Yeah, I still love Family Matters as well. I think the visuals paired with it just enhanced everything. Obviously, that was by design. I thought it was very clever. Obviously, has a lot of replay value. I would say my main critique of it is, one, there wasn't enough focus on Kendrick.
Correct.
I think he could have definitely gone at Kendrick more. And on top of that, it didn't even seem like Drake was like really that upset or bothered, which I guess you could interpret as like a good thing. Like, oh, he's bigger than all of this. But it just seemed like he was, you know, kind of just making good music as opposed to really trying to, you know, put the nail in the coffin. And also the 3 songs didn't feel as cohesive as Euphoria. It felt like he kind of stitched it all together after the fact. Even though I love all 3 individually, it didn't feel as cohesive. It was like, all right, let me address Kendrick and then kind of transition and then, you know, address all the other random people and then hop back, address shots. Kendrick, but then kind of like sing it, like make it melodic, which is still dope, but it didn't feel like super disrespectful. I think like the visuals, if anything, kind of were meant to do the bulk of the disrespecting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that
like
makes
the
sense.
van getting crushed, him showing up to New Ho King, which I love that scene. The cake, Pharrell's chains. I felt like all that shit. Like I think he made the video because without the video, I think it's really hard to visualize the disrespect, like in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, but also in the song, he is talking, like he gives more in depth about Dave Free fucking his wife and being the father of his like children. So that, I mean, that part was super disrespectful. But I get what you're saying. I think my issue, I think you and I spoke offline, but I'll say it up here as well. I agree. I wish that entire 7 minutes was just a Kendrick. But dude, I feel like when you're getting jumped, right? And I feel like this is what's happening to Drake, right? For whatever reason, and time will come, it will come out, you know, in due time. But like, especially with fucking, not Metro, bro, but Future, Rick Ross, like Travis, like all these guys, bro, that he's helped throughout the years. Like, again, we've spoken about in the past, like, these guys may have already had their careers, bro, but we can't deny that they worked well together, right? Like, they made millions of dollars together, right? And then I'm sure Drake feels that some of those success that they even have is because of him. So, bro, I can see how that shit hurts so much, whereas I think he's never really ever given a fuck about Kendrick, right? Like, I feel like if he truly did, bro, this beef would have happened years ago. But I think it's been clear to him, like, bro, like, he can coexist with this other guy because, bro, that guy's never around. So, like, who gives a fuck, bro? You want to call him the greatest rapper of all time? Fine, dude. Like, it's okay. So I can see why he wanted to almost like quote unquote spin the block again on these dudes and like, yo, make it very clear, like, yo, fuck you for that. But I agree, bro. I wish it was 6 minutes straight of just like, Kendrick, this is why you're a bitch and you're a fucking fraud or whatever. So I agree. But as far as a song, bro, that was my, out of all the songs that came out over since after Like That, because I think Like That is still the #1 song out of all of these. But from just Drake and Kendrick, Family Matters by far was my favorite song, bro. Like when I saw it was available on DSPs, I was like, bro, immediately, bro. But the ironic thing, dude, is that his team fucked up. I don't know on Spotify, but on Apple Music, bro, the song they made available on Apple Music was the clean version. So you know how the beginning of the song, it's like he's like making fun of him, and he says "nigga" immediately. It's bleeped out, so it's like,
I thought that was a meme or a joke. Like when I saw that on Instagram.
Oh no, that was a real thing, bro. I'm like, bro, what the? So I literally deleted it. They didn't actually fix it. It's like 4 hours later. But yeah, that was very ironic. That I was like, bro, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, who did this? So okay, so Family Matters drop. The Drake stands are going crazy. Me included. Our goat is up. Blah blah blah. And then, bro, within 30 minutes, he drops Meets the Grams. So I'll let you explain what Meet the Grams was, because I feel like my hatred is going to come out too aggressively. So I'm going to let you explain.
Yeah, so Meet the Grams was essentially raining on Drake's parade because Kendrick released this song very shortly after Family Matters was released, which leads me to believe Kendrick knew Drake was going to take the family angle and try to assassinate his character that way. But anyways, the song is essentially Kendrick almost having a therapeutic style session with each of Drake's family members, namely Adonis, then I believe Drake's mother,
Sandra,
and then Sandra, and then I believe Drake's dad as well, and then even Drake himself. It's over this very like ominous, eerie Alchemist piano beat.
Shout out to Alchemist.
Yeah, shout out to Alchemist. That beat is so just creepy, which I think fits the vibe that Kendrick was going for. And obviously Kendrick went this route to basically assassinate Drake's character. And from my opinion, although the song clearly isn't for many people gonna have high replay value, I think it was effective in creating a very dark energy around the beef. I think it was a shocker for everyone because we were on like a fun, high energy ride up until that point, and then it just got very dark very quick. But I think it was effective mainly because, and I don't know if this was intentional, but Kendrick already 8-miled himself with Mr. Morale essentially. So there's not really a character to assassinate at this point, since he kind of did it to himself. But I think this was Kendrick's moment to basically be like, hey, I know things about you that that are true, because in Euphoria, Kendrick's basically saying, I'm only going to tell truths about you. And I think it was very effective, because he's speaking to the people that are closest to Drake, and Drake's the one person who wouldn't want to listen to any of that. So he's basically schooling the kids, the mother, the father, saying this guy's a bad guy and these are the reasons. And that part when the you lied and all the like harmonious vocals are in the headphones, like that shit sounded like a ghost, like your guilty conscience just like tearing you apart. So yeah, even though I don't think that song was very fun to listen to, I think it was super effective. And I feel like the whole point of a diss is literally to disrespect. So I think that's why it just shut the energy down of Family Matters.
I think it shut down the energy of the entire beef, to be perfectly honest, bro. I think a lot of people were just like, again, so to add more context to what you just said, because I agree with everything you just said, it was very hard to listen to. But again, I think that was the whole point, like to make this like a very like aggressive, like I think Joel Santana made this like comment, but like it's almost like a lullaby, but like in the most evil way. Like it's almost like the Grim Reaper at your kid's bed, like
Mhm.
rocking him to sleep, but just saying terrible things about your father. You're like visually, this shit sounds crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And the same thing with like his mom and dad, and like again to him, like the guilty conscience thing is a great way because I feel like in that moment when he's finally addressing Drake head on, it's almost like Drake is addressing himself. I think he even says like, forget about fighting me, you should fight. I think you're fighting against yourself or something along those
Oh
lines.
yeah, battle. This is a long life battle with yourself.
Correct. Okay, so again, the angles of it we'll get into later in this pod, but like to add more context though, on this song, right, he gets on Drake for allegedly being a pedophile, people in his crew being a pedophile. What was the other things, bro? Him being obsessed with drinking and whores, right? He should do ayahuasca to find himself, right? So this takes a very dark thing, bro, because this isn't like, bro, again, we'll get it. I agree with your disses need to be disrespectful, right? Beefs need, this is, again, the gloves are off, mano a mano, let's go at it. However, bro, these are some wild allegations, right? People can say, bro, he said this guy fucked my wife. Bro, obviously married man, right? Happily married man. I understand how these things work. Like, but dude, in the world of hip hop, women have always been fair game, right? Tupac starts off the greatest beef song of all time. First off, fuck your bitch. Like, that's always been a thing. This seems wild, bro. This is some like what's that fucking comedian's name? Like Cannibal
Cat
or
Williams?
Hannibal. Dude, when the guy fucking like made he had you know what I'm talking about, right? Hannibal Buress, something like that, or Hannibal Buress, when he like was making the joke about Bill Cosby, like drugging women. He's like, why y'all laughing? This is a true story, right? Like it was like, bro, like, should we be taking this serious, bro? Or are you just saying this shit to just ruin this guy's career? Like, so that's for me, like, again, the momentum was killed because, again, Drake filmed the fucking $1 million video, dropped the epic response, and then boom, it's gone. I think that momentum was going to be killed regardless because everyone had to shift and go listen to Kendrick because that was the new thing out. However, I do think the content made this shit like no more fun. Personally, like I just that's my take, bro. I just think we're now making this thing like, bro, like the fuck, like, is this guy really about that? And dude, maybe that's the point of beefs. And again, but I think that just proves that there might be a genuine hatred for Drake, right? Like him having the funny lines, you know, kind of remixing DMX, like, I hate the way you walk, I hate the way you look. Like that may have seemed funny to us and like, haha, like we've never heard a rapper do over a song, but this dude may really hate him, bro, because to use those words, man, and like double down in his next song, dude, that seemed wild to me, bro. Like, why?
Yeah. No, I agree. I wish, you know, the beef like could continue in a fun manner where it's what we're accustomed to. But at the same time, I'm like, one, I've like, obviously we have no idea what may have transpired outside of, you know, the control verse and all this other shit. But like, if Kendrick truly is keeping his word and believes certain things are truths, then I almost feel like it behooves him to mention it. Though you would think, I guess, you know, this is something he might have wanted to mention before, but it's, if you just tweet about it or whatever, I guess it falls on deaf ears. Whereas like, this is the most.
Oh yeah, everyone's eyes and ears are on this shit, bro.
Way
the
to get
entire
publicity
world,
out. Yeah,
the entire world, dude. Like we have like predominantly white Instagram pages like making memes about this, bro. Like the entire world is locked into this right now.
Right. And I think the tough thing is, I mean, we all know celebrities, you know, have wild parties. You know, there's working girls and all this stuff, but we don't know like what each of those members has done at any of these parties. And I'm sure there's, I mean, at least what I read on Reddit, apparently some of the older OVO associates who he's not around anymore had to get deported for like messing with Kylie's friends or something when
Mm.
like pre-Tyga days, I guess, like when she was like 15 or some shit. Obviously, if Drake didn't do any of that, he's kind of just guilty by association, which would be unfair. But at the same time, I feel like now, like all kinds of stuff is surfacing, and maybe that's enough for Kendrick to say like, all right, now I feel comfortable with these wild statements because there's kind of proof out there, and if you react a certain way, you're showing your true colors.
Yeah, maybe. Again, dude, set the record straight. I mean, I think both of us, like, dude, if he did any of those things that he's being accused of, like, bro, fuck him, right? But again, I just don't, bro. Like, I'm getting, again, I'll speak for myself, bro. But like, I just can't imagine it, dog. Like, I just,
I don't think anyone can.
from the bottom, dude, like on every fucking scale, bro. As like a pretty light skinned dude myself, like I'm, like we're not going for the girl less than 18. Like that's not a thing, bro. Like so, again, I if I'm wrong, blast, shame on me. But I feel pretty confident about this one. So it is what it is. So like again, so the momentum is lost. This drops like around midnight, bro. I'm in fucking Chicago on a work conference, and I'm like, bro, I need to go to bed. I'm on fucking academics page, just like, what does it mean? Is this real? Blah blah blah. Is Drake gonna respond immediately? So Drake does respond immediately with a caption saying, because he also Kendrick accuses Drake of having another daughter that he abandoned, right? Kind of with the whole Pusha T thing, and he does respond to that saying, like, bro, like, if there's a daughter, can you please tell her to come home? Essentially, like, I would love to meet her. So that happens. You're like, all right, cool. Let's just see what the next version of this is going to be. Is Drake in a response? And then less than 24 hours later, we get Not Like Us. And I'll let you explain that, because I think that's another song that has way more West Coast connotations than I can probably give context to. So describe Not Like Us.
Not Like Us is a very unapologetic DJ Mustard hit, where Kendrick takes on a very raw / traditional West Coast flow, and obviously goes deeper into the allegations of Drake being in a PDF file downloader, is what they call it now, for monetization purposes. But yeah, he's super direct, like literally calls him a certified pedo. Even uses an offender pin map of Drake's house, basically saying his house,
which is going super viral right now. Everyone is going on Google and doing that to him right now.
So genius move, honestly, because it just looks, especially because it's Drake's actual footage of his house. It just, I don't know, the visual is just crazy. And then it doesn't help him that the beat is a absolute banger. If it was another dark Meet the Grams type shit, people, honestly, it would just only be like the conspiracy community that would care about it. But now it's like everyone kind of has to hear it because it's undeniably a fun song, which is wild given the content in the song. But I think from Drake's standpoint, the issue lies in that he denied Adonis. And then on top of that, there's like footage of him with, a 17-year-old girl, him literally saying, damn, like you're fine, but I can't go to jail. And the Millie Bobby stuff, like, I think just all of it combined gave Kendrick the benefit of the doubt with this track.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the beat is fire. So again, this song came out less than 24 hours after Meet the Grams, where Kendrick is literally on top right now and just, essentially beating fucking Drake to a pulp in the eyes of everybody watching. Yeah, dude, again, the content, I just can't support because it just seems like odd, bro. Like but I get the why. Like, bro, like if you feel like you have enough information to fucking use, like, cool. But again, it just makes it, I feel like it's no longer a fair fight. That's how I take it, bro. Because it's one thing if Kendrick is up 45 points, right? Based off just like lyrical jabs and like going at him for like fucking, for all the dogs sucked, like her loss was trash. It's like, bro, like, what are we talking about, bro? Like I called you your shoes a size 7, and I'm a pedophile, and then like you're just like saying that like
Yeah.
it's almost like a kid going like putting his hands in his ears and just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Like, bro,
Yeah.
again, it was tough. Again, I enjoyed the song. I listened to it a couple times. Dude, the beat's undeniable. I know you listened to it on the run. Like, dude, I would listen to the instrumental over and over again because again, DJ Mustard is a phenomenal producer. So I get all those things. It almost like also was like a rallying cry for the West Coast. I feel like I could be wrong, but it felt like that, right? Because I think like everyone was kind of rallying behind Kendrick, almost be like the people's champ, you know, for the culture, all that stuff. So again, dude, high momentum. But in my eyes, truly, the moment Meet the Grams dropped, I thought the beef was over, right? Personally, like I thought it was like, bro, it's done, bro. Like, yo, go on vacation, my G. We're good. Then he comes out with Not Like Us.
Not Like Us.
Banger. And I'm like, all right, bro, this guy's gonna drop every fucking day for the rest of May. And it's just gonna be overkill, bro. Because so we do get let's talk about Heartbreak. So we get what's that?
The Heart Part 6.
The Heart Part 6, which is a great you know, kudos to Drake for doing a play on what Kendrick does as far as those song titles. Dude, I enjoyed it, bro, but Drake sounded defeated, bro. Like, dude, Gina knows nothing about this beef, and I played it out loud, and she's like, "Oh, he sounds sad." I'm like, "Bro, wouldn't you?" Like, you know what I mean?
But so I actually saw a really good video of a psychologist breaking it down.
Breaking down that song?
Yeah, and obviously he doesn't know Drake personally, but he sees this as Drake gaslighting and essentially admitting to the allegations because he, you know, like when you're caught in a lie, you just it's overkill with how much you're defending yourself. And then he says wild shit like, "Oh, I'm too famous to not get caught. Like there's no court files or cases, so therefore I didn't do it." And like I know someone who I grew up with who like tried to murder someone and he never did a day in jail. He tries getting involved in politics and he's like, "What? I never did time, so therefore I'm just an innocent angel." Obviously, this is still alleged, but I think with Drake, if there is any advantage, I mean, like you said, like we won't expect someone like him who can easily get girls and stuff to do this, but I feel like that's also like an out for a lot of people. Like, you know, it could be Trey Songz or something.
Yeah.
Like in Trey Songz, people be like, "Oh, like this dude could get anybody. Like, why would he, you know, abuse a woman?" But I think that kind of is the reason why they think they can would be able to get away with something is they feel like they deserve whatever. And I don't know Drake, obviously, but I mean, it's possible that he could be some crazy narcissist who like just wants what he wants and now is trying hard to defend it. But either way, musically, yeah, I agree. It just he felt defeated, or he sounded defeated. And I don't think he had much of a defense. It felt like this whole beef was him in court trying to defend himself, like in every song damn near. So I just don't think he should have responded in this way. I think he had to kind of respond, but it should have been more brief, like he's done before. Like, "Yo, this is wild. Like, go run along and play," not fucking have a whole song about it and be like, "I'm too famous and rich for this to be true." Like Epstein literally was both, basically. So
yeah, I mean, again, I feel like the needing to respond to those allegations, because like, bro, like again, in a hip hop sense, I've never heard someone accuse someone of that, bro. So again, I feel like for just a sense of like, yo, this is gonna be hip hop, we're gonna talk about this, I have to make it very clear, bro, like you're fucking lying, right? Because I think there was on Family Matters, it made he started saying like, bro, like what are you talking about? Right? Because that's what I hear from Drake on, and again, I love Family Matters, bro, but I think on Drake, he's like, bro, like I think talking to Kendrick, like, bro, like what are you even saying? Like, show, like, prove this to me. So I think he's just doubling down on that. It's like, bro, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how are you making 2 songs about this shit now? And then, like, how can I not defend myself? If I don't say anything, they're gonna be like, bro, you fucked and you have to talk about that shit. So
yeah,
I get why he I feel like I appreciate that he responded, and it's a good song, right? It's not the energy Drake that we're used to, right? 'Cause I think like the
Mhm.
difference, like until we get well, I guess what the fuck's that song? Not Like Us, because Meet the Grams. You know, Kendrick is still very much like low energy, right? Where with Drake, like I enjoy push-ups and family man. Bro, he's hype, bro. He's having fun. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
that's what we love about Drake, dude. When we hear him like this, it's like if you're not hype, it's gonna sound sad, right? So dude, but I like that he responded because he's like, bro, I'm not going out, like, I have to go out swinging. Like, bro, you're not gonna just make me go run in the fucking hole and disappear. Like, that's not gonna fucking happen, you know? So I think,
Mhm.
like, I respect that from him, bro. But I love the way he even said in his caption, he's like, bro, I'm gonna drop 10 more fucking songs if you want to, bro, because, like, you got it, my G. Like, that's how I read it, because it's like,
Uh,
I get it. It felt like, bro, like we can switch to like not like no longer breaking down each song. I feel like this beef took a weird stretch, bro, because it became not whose bars resonated the most. When I think about like previous beefs, like either the Meek or remove Drake from this, like the Jay Z, Nas, LL Cool J versus Cannabis, Eminem versus Benzino, like those things became about the bars, right? This became quickly like either how much I can like make up or say some wild shit about you that's not about rap at all, or how much content I can put out, right? Which is like weird. Like that part threw me off. Did you get thrown off by that at all? Because like that part threw me off. It was like, well, he has 5 songs to your two, and it's like, so he's winning. I'm like,
mhm.
since when was that ever the fucking like goalpost for this?
Yeah. I mean, well, when you said it was overkill, I saw academics post like the side by side, and then I realized they pretty much have the same amount of songs. I think it was just that Kendrick dumped them all at like around the same time, so it felt like, oh, Kendrick's just trying to flood, like drown out whatever Drake's saying. But I think by the time Meet the Grams came around, I just realized they're fighting two very different fights. I
Right.
think like that was bait to Drake just to be like, hey, this is about who's the better artist. Um, and I think Kendrick did still uh try to show and prove that through all of his releases, which I think he did because he had a different flavor, no Diddy in each song. Like he did the like aggressive 6 minute Euphoria, like Good Kid, Mad City thing, or whatever you want to attribute
Then
it
the
to.
Sinister Lullaby.
Sinister,
Yeah.
Meet the Grams. Then he had like just standard, like raw, like I don't know, New York rap style with 616, and then this is just like a club banger. So I think from the get go, and I don't know how long this has been brewing. It seems like forever, like 10 years or something. But I think he wanted to expose Drake for being a PDF file downloader, but he knew that if he just like said it on an IG story or in an interview, like it would get shot down immediately and they would just call him a hater. So I think he wanted to expose him while simultaneously proving that he can't compete from like a lyricism slash rap standpoint. I think he like wanted to beat him at his own game because Drake's the internet like marketing PR like genius with his music, it seems. Whereas Kendrick's like, yo, I can beat you at your own game. And I somehow he did it pretty flawlessly. Because I think in the initial stages, it was like 50-50 on who's winning. And now like even the biggest Drake fans, academics, like name it, every poll is like Kendrick won. But I don't even think it's necessarily just because of I think the allegations, yeah, kind of put an end to it. But I think even musically, people are like Kendrick's just up right now.
Mm. So you think lyrically he proved that he's the better rapper in this?
I think like from an artistic standpoint, uh well, with this beef, like diss wise, I think he just proved like he can't be outbarred by Drake. Like I think everyone agrees Drake makes great replayable music, but I don't think in this battle that's like a relevant thing because there's a lot of people that can essentially do it. You might as well throw like Taylor Swift into it or whoever. But I think Kendrick showed so many different sides of himself. It's just like you're fighting the dude from Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung or whatever, who can fucking like turn into every character and
Oh yeah,
use their
yeah,
powers.
yeah, yeah.
Like I feel like Kendrick's kind of doing that here, whereas Drake is, I don't know, damn near fighting for his life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like it's yeah. Again, I do. I don't want to sound like a fucking hater because it's not that, dude. So I will say one thing, like again, so like I think the fandom in me like takes this shit like a little bit annoying because like, bro, I'll give more context, bro. So like, you're not really a big sports fan, right?
No,
Okay, right. So, dude, I've
but
supported
I
the
understand
Knicks
though. Yeah.
since I was 8 years old, right? So the Knicks who play, the reason why I wanted to move this up is because the Knicks play in like 30 minutes, right? So if the Knicks lose tonight in the playoffs, I'm going to be sad for the rest of the next 24 hours, right? I've supported Arsenal. That's Arsenal Stadium and the numbers there since I was 10 years old, right? Arsenal lose one game a weekend. I'm fucking devastated for a week, bro. I've been a Drake fan since I was 19 years old, bro. I'm 35, right? And Drake has been a soundtrack to my life since I was 19, right? So this situation, I get heated, you know what I mean? So like
Wait,
I'm putting that out there. So like I'm being clear, like the fandom in me, like I get it, bro. A fan is a fanatic and logic sometimes doesn't come through. And that's why like I get heated at times for this, right? But personally, bro, like removing the fandom, like it's hard for me to believe. I for the beef's sake, yes, Kendrick won. I agree with that, right? Like I'm not pushing back on that. However, I still feel like it's hard to even try to compete when again, I agree that maybe the songs came out at the same time, but like again, and kudos to Kendrick, bro. Again, maybe there's just this is the new approach to beef right now. Like, dude, yeah, dude, he played this shit to your point flawlessly, bro. Oh, dude, I already got 3 songs lined up. Dude, when you drop, I'm gonna remove all momentum, bro. That's genius, dog. Like, that's genius. My issue is that when you make the content about some like wild legal shit, it just, dog, it's just like, first of all, I didn't want to hear that shit. If I wasn't even a Drake fan, I'd be uncomfortable by that shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are we even talking about right now? So like,
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. And it became, and again, dude, it became, and the reason why I pushed back on like, do you really think he became better? Like he proved lyrically he's better. It's that, dog, I personally didn't hear anything I haven't heard already from other rappers. Like you're essentially saying like, yo, you're white and not for the culture. And yeah, I don't like you. I was like, cool, bro. And like, again, I personally like leading before Meet the Grams, I didn't hear anything that made me think like, bro, this guy just uppercutted him and Drake's done for, bro. So that's where I push back. But bro, for the sake of the beef, dude, 100%. Kendrick won. I have no issue saying that. If you want to compare 3 songs to 3 songs, sure. But in the actual scheme of the nitty gritty, like in the moment, bro, like, it never felt like it was 3 songs versus 3 songs. It felt like it was 1 song versus fucking 2 songs. And then you even drop a fucking caption. I'm dropping 4 more songs on you. And it's like, okay, bro, I guess that wins then.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I do think though, to your point about him not necessarily saying a ton of new things. I mean, the new things he did mention were like what do they call it? I don't know, a bombshell. I think that's kind of like the foundation of music though, right? Like, Drake in his music, he's not necessarily saying the newest things or anyone really, but it's just they approach it differently and bring a different energy that the next guy didn't bring. And I think with the battle, Kendrick approached it in a manner that if Joe Budden or Meek Mill said it, like I don't think it would just come across as creative. Like a lot of the bars that stick, like the A minor thing and whatever else, like I think that just elevates how people are receiving it and why they're respecting Kendrick's art, because it's not just the reveal. It's like, damn, he curated it in a way that no one else really could to deliver his message, because it would be cheap if he just went on Twitter and was like, I'm not rapping with a pedo, like and then everyone's like, oh, he won. Like Drake, can't respond to that. But I think it was like, I'm gonna beat you at your own game and say crazy shit. But even if you take the crazy shit out, like people are still gonna see me as the victor. Um, and
Yeah,
yeah,
but I feel
I
like
don't
this
really.
beef had a longer chance of going back and us getting like better songs from both
Mhm,
sides if those things weren't included. That's my only
got it.
thing. Like, I feel like the PDF stuff ruined
Mhm.
it, bro. Like, it
You mean
became
like,
about that. And
yeah? So
like,
like, it didn't have a chance to brew longer
no,
after. Like, there was no clear winner
no, there's a clear
at the
winner. We'll
Euphoria.
go. We'll go
Yeah.
with. Yeah, so when
No, I
Euphoria
mean at the
drops and
Euphoria
Family
stage.
Matters drops, I think we're like fucking poised for like awesomeness.
Mm,
And then it just becomes this weird thing of like, bro, what, dog? And like, again, kudos to him, bro. Kudos to him. And again, I feel like if he doesn't include the PDF stuff and he still drops Meet the Grams 20 minutes after Drake, I still think this gains momentum and keeps going, bro. I think
hmm
Drake comes back with something else or something, bro. But dude, you bring that shit up. It's just like, and then you overkill it with another song again, dude. Like that's cool. Like that's awesome. Like I respect the strategy in it. Like this is like some strategic warfare shit that you have to respect. That's why I'm saying like Kendrick won, bro. Like those were brilliant moves. But I don't know, bro. It just feels like with those strategies and then on top of the other shit, which just feels like so taboo, like those things is like, bro, like, all right, bro, you got this, man. Like, I'm not, what am I gonna say? Because again, if I make another song where I'm saying, bro, I'm not this, I'm not that, then what's everyone gonna say? Well, bro, why is he defending himself? Only fucking liars defend themselves. It's like, all right, dog, like you got this, Pete. Like,
Yeah, I never liked that argument in general. Because like if someone lies about some crazy shit, like part of you is gonna get angry and defensive. I think his response was just like his reasoning was some shit
sure,
a
sure, sure, yeah.
liar, actual liar would say. Like, I got too much money, so I couldn't be true. Like, I think that's a wild take. Like, it
Yeah,
could have
yeah,
been a
yeah.
lot better. Um, Also, I've been meaning to ask because I know you vaguely said that you resemble Drake. Has that ever influenced how you've uh received his music or like?
Nah, dude, because I didn't
Oh,
get that comparison until I was like fucking like 22, 23.
oh,
So
okay.
that was like a fun bonus.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it was just more so like, dude, I was a sophomore in college and I heard So Far Gone on like I got someone sent me the zip fly for it, and like since then, like bro, it's been a soundtrack to my life since like dude, 19, dog. Like
Yeah.
so that's why like the true fandom comes in, right? Your fucking team loses, you're like, bro, like I'm down bad, you know? Like so for
Yeah,
this, I was like, dog, my dog's getting bullied.
yeah.
And it's just like wild. So I mean, we can make a little tangent here, like what do we envision for the future, bro? Like what do we see come at the end of the year? We're going to 2025. Where do you think both these dudes are at?
Hmm. First off, before I answer, I do love the sports analogy because, uh, as you know, I've never been like the biggest sports fan. Like, I love the
Yeah.
Super Bowl and NBA Finals and shit, but I never had like much of a stake in it unless I literally bet on the game.
Mhm.
So this is like a Super Bowl for me, like literally. But in terms of the future, I was talking with someone about this earlier, and I think, for one, just like Travis Scott after the Astral World thing, I think Drake needs to lay low for a bit and just collect his thoughts, praying to God none of this shit is true. Um, but assuming it isn't, let's just say it isn't. I think he needs to lay low and just do what he does best, which is make hits. I think at a certain point in time, I get it. He had a chip on his shoulder up until now, and people have been clowning him since the beginning of time. But I think people are just really annoyed by this like pseudo mobster image that he's taken on, which seems to have kind of gotten to his head in a lot of ways. It's really tough because who knows what he's like behind the scenes. Like, he could be the biggest piece of shit ever to work with for all we know. But in terms of the future, I don't see him like not charting again or him losing endorsements or any of that shit until it's proven. But I do think this whole like I'm the king of hip hop, like I don't think he's gonna revisit that theme anytime soon. Nor do I think like J. Cole is. I feel like this whole big three thing, we finally kind of got to the bottom of it. Even if like people were disqualified for different reasons, I think that's no longer going to be this theme that the fans are egging on. Like we've addressed it, and now everyone can go back to doing what the fuck they were doing and go on about their day. I kind of see that being the case.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I agree with the notion where I think he needs to like lay low, right? Like just kind of like gather yourself. I mean, dude, because we can even rewind to like you and I talking about like him when all the dogs dropped, right? We're like, bro, like, again, I give that album like a B plus, right? I think it may be more of a B plus after the extra songs were dropped, but I enjoyed it, especially like the first 7 songs. I really enjoyed it, but I even think you and I were like, man, like this is weird that he's like a gangster now. Like, why is everything about killing? And like, bro, like where did this come from, right? So yeah. You and I even said that. So back to this though, and fast forwarding to 6 months from now, yeah, dude, I think he should just lay low, bro. That's why personally I didn't want him to drop that 3rd song or 4th song, whatever you fucking the last song, the Hearts Part 6. Because I'm like, bro, like it is what it is, bro. Like you're not gonna win this, bro. You lost in the public's eyes. There seems to be a rallying cry to get you the fuck out of here, right? Like for whatever reason, right? That it just seems to be like, I'm not saying no one's fucking with you, but again, I feel like everyone in the industry except for people who are clearly signed to OVO just aren't, right? For whatever reason, bro. So sometimes you just need to step away to come back and let people, miss you, right? Like maybe you've just been around for fucking too long and people are just saturated by you, bro. Like they need a break. So yeah, I would say definitely take a break. I agree with you. I'm trying to think back to like when Nas and Jay beefed. Like, I feel like Jay lost that battle, but it wasn't ever felt like Jay wasn't the king of hip hop, right? So yeah, I don't know if the notion is, and this is what, bro, I literally had to fucking almost kick myself out of my group chat from the Bronx because like one of my boys was like, there's no more, J. Cole and Drake are out the big 3. The big 3 now is Kendrick, Future, and 21. And I was like, no. How does Drake try to go battle bar for bar and now he's completely out the big 3? Like, I don't know how that works.
Definitely not those 2 guys either.
Yeah.
Like Future, yeah.
Yeah, again, idiots. But my thing is like, bro, like again, I disagree with the thing of like the idea of being the king of the hip hop. I still think that's up for grabs, personally, because if these allegations prove to be bullshit, right? Hopefully, bro, for everyone's fucking sake, because I don't think hip hop needs that right now. So if the allegations prove to be bullshit, he goes away and comes back with a fucking phenomenal album, right? Again, I never thought a beef was going to be determine who is the king of hip hop, right? So I only say that because I think back to the Jay-Z beef, right? It was, dude, Nas Ether was a clear fucking, bro, you're not better than me one-on-one, but Jay-Z proved I'm still better than you, right? So I do wonder how this will play out over time. But again, right now in this moment, I agree with you. It's like, bro, like I would never go down that road because it's like, dog, like I proved to you that you're not, if I'm Kendrick, like I proved to you you're not that guy. But again, again, because of the way everything kind of just played out, I still think that's up for grabs, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in these cases, like, unfortunately, or fortunate for some, like public perception kind of matters most. Like if everyone thinks Kendrick's better than Drake now, like just because of this one moment, like that's just gonna be what reality kind of becomes, even if if fans individually disagree. And I think with Drake, like even though a lot of people would still say he's the greatest of this newer generation, I mean, he's played a lot of similar games in order to accomplish it as well. And I think that's part of like Kendrick's gripe with him is It's like, sure, you're talented, but you're also aligning with certain people to fit a certain image, and he's great at marketing and doing all these things that other people just don't seem to be able to do effectively. um I mean, yeah, it's all subjective, but only time will tell if people revisit this moment and say Kendrick is objectively the best. I think the receipts are definitely um gonna play a role into it if it ever comes out, but I think even just like on a bars level, like if we ignore Meet the Grams, um, and even not like what is it? Not Like Us.
Yeah, not like
Um,
us.
I think Kendrick still had the advantage, but it wasn't quite as clear who was objectively gonna win if the
That's
allegations
what I'm
were
saying. I
relevant
think
at
the
all.
allegation stuff matter. Like I think how we see them and see him in 4 or 5 years, I think that shit matters, right? If in 5 years nothing has come out, bro, like, because dude, like, if you don't think someone in the FBI is gonna like, yo, well, let's just check, bro, you're crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like someone is gonna fucking do a little more research and just like, well, let's just do a
Right.
little bit more investigation, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
But do you think this? From the Kendrick side of it, you think this is a rallying cry for him to finally release something now that he's fully independent? Or he's like, bro, I gave you guys 5 fucking phenomenal pieces of work. Enjoy that. Goodbye.
No, I feel like I don't know. It's so tough to say because it seems like Kendrick just executed it so flawlessly. Like he's already
Flawlessly, bro. Again,
doing,
you
yeah.
have to take your hat off, dude. Dude, the approach to win over the media and everyone involved was you
Mhm.
can't hate on that, bro. Again, I
Yeah.
cannot like the specific things, but as far as like the approach to winning, bro, he won, bro. There's no denying
Yeah.
that.
I don't think he necessarily addresses this situation again unless Drake responds, or he alludes to it from like a broader perspective, like basically just saying the industry is not what you think it is, kind of thing. Um, but I feel like he is gearing up for new
An album,
music, yeah, of some sort. I mean, it would only make sense, and it would be a genius move on his part since he's getting so much good publicity at this point. But yeah, this is a crazy time to be in. I never thought it would get to this point, this dark, very dark point. But it's like one of those things where, like, if it is true, then I mean, Kendrick kind of said in the song, like, "Fuck a battle." Like,
yeah.
you're a satanic, evil piece of shit. Like, at that point, is there even a debate? Which is insane.
Do you think though, like, bro? So, do you think we're ever gonna find out though why everyone else also fucking turned on him?
That's a good question, and I wish that
And dude,
was.
I almost like now you start thinking like, are all these things combined, bro?
Are
Like,
what?
like are all these things intertwined? Like, are the
Oh,
allegations that he make are the
oh, they
reason
like
that
found
these?
out like he was
Yeah, like I
messing
don't
with
fucking
Chloe.
know. Like, it's just so fucking weird, dog. Like,
Um, I mean, I know Metro Boomin said something on Twitter, like basically threatening to expose why they don't mess with each other and that it's not over some girl. Um, could be possible. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure a lot of it is more petty, music related stuff, but this might be the icing on the cake, which is like, I don't know. It's the more I hear from other people, it seems like Drake isn't as, like, he's a lot more petty than he would make you believe, because I like with the Rihanna thing and him wanting to sign the weekend, it seems like he just treated a lot of these dudes like shit in retaliation. But at the same time, with all this stuff coming out from Kendrick, it's uh easy to believe that they're like, all right, yeah, like now we really can't fuck with him.
yeah, yeah. I hope we find out, bro, because yeah, it's just odd, bro. It's just odd, especially the Future and Rick Ross one, right? Because
Uh,
like Rick Ross being on a Drake record was like damn near like accustomed to it, bro. Like that was like I think we at one point we thought we were gonna get like a joint album from them, right? So
mhm.
yeah, very odd. So are we giving J. Cole the like, hey, smart move, my guy? Or like, are we saying you're still a bitch?
That's funny. I mean, now the public's pretty much siding with him, which I didn't see coming. Um, I would say based on his response, he would have to clarify because based on his response, it sounded like he just realized he wasn't built to for this disc because he didn't have anything to say. Other than like, gun metaphors, like I'm gonna unload the clip and all kinds of shit that sound like, I guess, tough from a standard rap battle perspective. But I would say I don't want to hear any like goat talk from him because he bowed out so quickly. And unless he can prove that like he knew it was gonna get super personal or he elaborates on it, I don't think he can talk his big three shit.
Yeah,
At least I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I mean, kudos for him for getting out of this because he would have been annihilated, bro. But still a bitch. And then you're also like, bro, your boy's getting bodied, my guy. Like, tag me in, help me. Like, yo, like I got you, my guy. Like, I think also the way it played out, where like clearly like Drake felt like, dude, like he just didn't have anyone to fucking help him out. You know what I mean? Like there was no one chiming in, no one saying, yo, to at least like get the momentum a little bit back on his side. Like it felt like it was fucking Drake and academics versus the world, and it was just like, so it is what it is. Yeah. But J. Cole, again, dude, clearly he knew it was coming. And also shout out to Joe Budden. I think he called this shit. He's like, bro, this is gonna get nasty, bro. And I don't think either of us or the public just realized what that truly meant. Because I didn't think like when Like That came out 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago that we'd be sitting here like, again, I was excited for the beef up until Saturday morning. And then like, whereas like now I feel like it's not even like, it just feels like, what did we just go through? Kind of a thing, as opposed to like this fun feeling. That's like what I am most annoyed by, bro. It's not just the L for Drake. It's like, this feels wrong. Like this doesn't feel fun at all. So that's all. But again,
yeah. I mean, it took a dark turn. I feel like it'd be like if you were watching the finals and you found out like one of the teams deflated the ball or was taking steroids or some shit. Like it would just make it would just crush your high hopes of it just being a fair, straightforward fight. But I think nowadays a lot of disses or beefs stem from like really personal situations that kind of just have to be addressed in the song if that's where it comes from. But it's hard to separate the content from just like raw talent and the ability to like piece together a song. But I feel like Kendrick, like it's insane that he didn't have to put out any videos, and I feel like I can visualize damn near like every song, like just the pictures he's painting.
Yeah, not like us. You just see him like in the Bay going all through California, just fucking like everyone rallying behind him, bro. Like on some like Rocky Balboa people's champ shit, Yeah. And then for Meet the Graham, something sinister, like literally like in their rooms talk. Yeah, dude, like again, good for him, bro. Again, I think he won it. There's parts of what he did that I truly admire. I think everyone can admire the approach. Again, I just feel like this took a weird turn that made this feel like, okay, bro. But again, you can't deny that he's a genius, bro. And again, kudos to him, and the songs were bangers. So as we get out of here, bro, Heat of the Week, episode, what are we, episode 147? Is that right?
176.
Bro, what am I thinking? I'm thinking about my fucking Duolingo. Episode 176. What is your Heat of the Week, bro? Is it something from the beef or something else that you were able to, remove yourself from?
Honestly, I couldn't really remove myself from the beef. There wasn't anything that stood out. Yeet had a decent song, but I would have to objectively go with Not Like Us. It was the most recent one of the beef, of course, and
that one actually is on DSPs. So.
Yeah, it just got on DSPs. Love that one. Haven't heard, and I'm gonna give this one credit because I think Kendrick surprisingly never really had a traditional like just West Coast song or sound. He was always a bit more like eclectic than that, and kind of just did his own thing. And then DJ Mustard, we haven't really heard from in a minute. So the fact that they joined forces and were able to have maybe like the most insane uh claims, but it turned it into a club banger is wild to me. So yeah, I can't believe we're here. This is absolutely insane.
Oh man, pray for us. All right, I added it to the playlist for sure. Not Like Us, again, dude, great song. I agree with you. Wild that content can be an anthem, but dude, I think the fucking Dodgers won a game yesterday, and they tweeted like pictures of the players celebrating, and then Not Like Us. And it's like, bro, this is taking a world of dude. They played Euphoria during the NBA playoffs. Like, as this dude, this is like.
I heard they played Family Matters too.
Like both songs. Like, yeah. But it's like, it's wild that these kind of songs are being a part of like literally everywhere, bro. But dude, I was able to find a break from the beef. I think this maybe was like Friday morning when there was not that much out yet. But Johnny Yukon, Madness. Nice. I know Blair has mentioned him before on the pod. I think this is the first time I truly like found a song from him that like really fucking made me like get excited about. And I was looking for a moment to kind of like escape from the shit. So Madness was that fun song, backyard vibes, especially getting ready for the summer. Definitely a song I can see myself enjoying on a boat somewhere. So peep that if you want to break from the beef. But if not, Not Like Us is gonna have you in a good spot for a while.
Nice.
Anything else you want to bring up before we get out of here?
No. Let's get out of here.
All right, let the people know what we got going on and where they can find us.
Yes, sir. Catch every new episode at audio-theory.com. We're on all platforms. We have the Heat of the Week playlist up there as well. And if you're on YouTube, check down below. We have merch for you to cop, all different colors and sizes. And yeah, tune in, like, share, subscribe, do what you can to support the channel.
Do what you can. I'm still paying for a wedding, so donate. Love you, my boy. Talk next week.
You too.
Peace.